Hefty's the name, shiny hunting's my game. Gotta catch 'em all, nothing's ever the same. With my trusty football, I'm always on the spree. No shiny can escape, they all come to me. Shiny after shiny, it's never enough. I'm on a quest, and it can get rough. From Pallet Town to Johto and beyond, I'm the shiny hunter, the bond is strong. I've caught 'em all, every shiny you can name. Kanto region, Johto region, I've conquered the game. Hefty's the king, the one who never quits. Caught 'em twice, now that's the real deal. No tricks. I've conquered the game. Hefty's the king, the one who never quits. Caught him twice, now that's the real deal. No tricks.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in, Kiro, Eric, Pen Spinner. Welcome in, John Streckert, Ariana with that beautiful shield. This is the first time I've seen the shield. This is the first time I've seen the shield. Everyone's been talking about the shields. I've been seeing wrenches up until this very moment. That is a blue shield. But welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Jerry, what's going on? Good to see you. We are continuing to look for the Galarian CORSOLA. We need 2 of them. Let's get started. How about you guys tell me how your week was? I want to hear what happened. How has the last 7 days been? What's new? You did. You went medieval, Jerry. You went medieval on that shield. Hero. Your Audi does not enjoy dubstep. Devin, what's going on? Welcome in. And you're from India. That's very cool. I'm from the United States of America. Eric, that's a very nice shield you got there. What's up, Loops? Good to see you. It's been boring because of school. How was yours? Boring because of work. I guess it's just always going to be that way, right? Whether it's school, whether it's work, there's just always going to be some things that bore you throughout the week. Oh my gosh, Kira with the 11 months of membership. Holy potatoes, that's a lot of months. Thank you so much, Kiro. Sadly, yes, it's true. There's always going to be things that are kind of stinky. I guess the trick is to figure out how to handle the stinky and still kind of enjoy what you're doing. Yeah, that is a different blue, too. Someone mentioned that it was a lighter blue. That's definitely a lighter blue. Jude, what's going on? Arc Collectibles raid. Oh my goodness, are we getting raided already? Holy smokes. I think that's 5 eggs right there. I'm gonna check because I always feel like I miscount. Keebler version of Thin Mints? Ooh, what are those? What would be a Keebler version? Okay, that's perfect. Sage Collectibles, welcome on in. Thank you for coming in on that raid. Hand in your red aged like milk, which was cheese for a while. It's moldy cheese. That's right. Lois, welcome in. Holy potatoes. So many people coming in on this amazing raid. Let's call you Captain Callie. You can do this all morning. What is it, like 3 in the morning for you, Jerry? No, it's like, what, 7? Yeah, I know the Keebler brand. I'm just trying to think of what would be a Keebler version of Thin Mints. I'm thinking of what... Oh, Sage, thank you so much for the sub. I'm trying to think of what would be Like, I'm thinking of the Keebler cookies I know, and I'm trying to figure out which one would be thin. Fudge Mint Delights. Okay, thank you so much. But yeah, thank you all for coming in on this raid. That's amazing. Mewtwo, I am. Thank you very much for asking. 7th hour of the day. It's like the day's practically over now. Thank you to all the subs, and there's Arc Collectibles. Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Hefty. I am a shiny Pokemon hunter. Currently working on finishing off my shiny living premier decks. I have a shiny living decks already, but now I'm going back and trying to rehunt a few Pokemon that I need in premier balls. And I need Galarian, Corsola, and CORSOLA, so that's what we're doing today. Matthew, what's going on? Good to see you. Dalton, thank you so much for the laughing disco. It's almost an entire shift to work. That's true, Eric. You do go to work extremely ridiculously early. Yes, thank you very, very much for the raid. And I feel like this is the second. I forgot to hit I was just so taken aback by that incredible raid. I forgot to up the counter. And Ari, thank you for dropping that link to Arc Collectibles. I'm going to take a gander at that right now myself. Ah, nice, nice. Getting some good work done there, my friend. All right. So, yeah, what else is going on? Did anyone participate in Community Day in Pokemon Go last weekend? Did you get what you wanted? I unfortunately did not. I don't feel too bad about it. I already had a shiny Vulpix and a shiny Alolan Vulpix. I did need a second of each, but I figure just getting 2 isn't going to be that hard to do once December rolls around. I just got to remember. Going to an open house today. Nice. Don't steal anything. Just because you're invited into the house doesn't mean you can take stuff, Jerry. You got 4 of each. Wow, Eric, that's awesome. Congratulations. Quite the flu season. Are you feeling okay, Mewtwo? One Vulpix Kanto version and got a Jumbo, a shiny. Nice. No longer going to an open house today. I mean, really, what's the point, right? If you can't take stuff, why even bother go? No, I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. Go to the open house. Hopefully it's a nice one. Hopefully it's in your price range. Hopefully it has a hefty room. Nearly didn't get Cantonian Vulpix. Did about 100 checks before you got your only one. Holy crap, that's a lot of checks. Going to an agriculture cattle celebration event thing today. Get a dress with your finest cowboy boots. Got that new boot goofing. A cattle celebration. So, like, do you, like, bring presents for the cattle? I got sick but recovering well. I'm glad to hear that. What's up, Genius Math has returned. Nice to see you have returned to the channel. I am in desperate need of going to the grocery store today. However, it is freezing cold and I don't want to. Can someone just please send me food? Like, just, you know, just have food delivered to me so I don't have to leave the comfort of my warm house. Celebration of how the agriculture and cattle industry has shaped the culture of Honduras. That's really neat. Cow bar mitzvah, Jerry. That's hilarious. Here we go. Here we go. We got another 5 checks. Can we get one? So working on your talk series. What's up with me? You know, work's been working, and got a little bit of a head cold last weekend that took me a few days to get over. I'm still a little stuffy. Other than that, you know, I can't complain. Doing pretty well. Living the good life. Got lots of nice friends. Get to hang out with all of you guys on a Saturday morning. So I have nothing to complain about. Don't really want to see the rodeo where the butcher area is, but they have an amusement park rides. Ooh, like are there roller coasters? Is there like spinning teacups? Like what's going on? What kind of rides are we talking about? The really spinny ones where the G-force is so strong, like you're stuck up against the wall and you can't move. You made it. You did, Lacey. Welcome back in. I watched the rest of the stream last week after getting back home. Any luck today? No, just started 10 minutes ago, Lacey, and no luck yet. I didn't stream last Sunday either. I was feeling under the weather. It's that time of year where all the kids are getting sick. I'm bringing home the sickies to their parents, and then I work with the parents, and then I get the sickies. Which I don't like. But thankfully, I have a pretty awesome immune system. It takes a lot to keep me down for more than a couple days. Remember that ride you ended up going up to the top where you think you hit your head? Oh no! Don't ever hit your head. Unless you do, unless you can't help it. Like the zipper and one kind of like the tilt-a-whirl. Oh, okay. That's cool. I hope you have a lot of fun. We have an amusement park about close to an hour away from where I live. It's actually like it's a quaint little like amusement park, but it's got a lot of history. It's actually won some awards too for some of its roller coasters, and we take a work trip there every August. So it's pretty fun. I like going. Whoops. And what's neat about that amusement park is it's free to get in. You don't pay for entry, but you can buy books of tickets and then you use those tickets on the rides you want. No, not Wally World. What's going on, Shinies? Good morning. Hey, cold sucks. You had one a few weeks ago. Still coughing. Yeah, I still got some stuffiness. Some congestion in my nose and my throat. They're all closed down when you visit in November. Yeah, November's a little bit past amusement park season. I think the one that we have here, like they close at Labor Day and then they open the weekend of Halloween because they always have like a special Halloween themed weekend. But then other than that, I think they stay closed until maybe April. Your grandmother called Walmart Wally World? Yeah, my dad calls it Wally World. Darth Trollus, good morning. Art Collectibles, welcome back in, and thank you again for that incredible raid. It's actually an asylum. His work won't tell him the truth. That's probably true. It wouldn't surprise me. You went to Universal Studios once for 5 hours just to only ride on a carousel because you were too chicken to ride anything else. That's okay, as long as you had fun. I'm never going to make fun of somebody for the types of rides they ride. Your dad calls Walmart Wawa. See, we can't do that here because there's actually a chain of convenience stores on the East Coast called Wawa, and they just opened a location here in town a few months ago. So I feel like that would just be way too confusing here. But I do like the sound Wawa. I think it's a fun noise that you can make with your mouth hole. Your need of going to Universal Studios has been way too many years. How far away is it for you, Eric? How long of a trip is that? How long of a drive? You just like go down Sunset Boulevard and it's there? I don't know how California works. "13 minutes before we start talking about holes." And this isn't even a... Dang it! That's the first time I've overshot. This isn't even a Legends EA stream, and we're still talking about holes. Wawa's has some good chicken sandwiches when you're hungry. They do. They do. I prefer Sheetz personally, but I'm not going to turn down a Wawa sandwich. Maybe not even 30 minutes, 30 or 40 plate safe. Oh, that's not bad at all. Ivo, what's going on? Good to see you. Ricky spent a total of 2 months in the U.S. and he's been to Disney World and you haven't. I've been to Disney World once when I was like 8 years old. I've never been to Disneyland. And the trip to Disney World was one of those like lifelong memories, but not for the reason you want it to be. My uncle took my mom and I to Disney World on vacation for like a weekend. The first day it rained. I remember going on Space Mountain and being too scared, so I kept my eyes closed the entire time. So even though I've ridden Space Mountain, I have no idea what it looks. I'm assuming it's pretty dark, and there's stars, but I have no recollection of the actual ride. I just remember I was scared and I kept my eyes closed. Everything going on 30 to 40 minutes with your driving conditions. It'll feel a lot longer. That's true. Buc-ee's was a bit disappointing, overcrowded when you went to one once. I've never been to a Buc-ee's. I'd never even heard of Buc-ee's until I started hanging out on the internet. And Big Cheese, I think, was the first one to mention Buc-ee's to me. And apparently there's one now not too far from where my parents live. My mom has mentioned it a couple times. I went to Disney, but it rains the most hefty thing ever. It's you know what? You know, Matthew, have I ever told you the story about when I went to the Thanksgiving Macy's Day Parade? Have I ever told you that story? Because you would love that one. You love Buc-ee's? Yeah, I've never been. I've heard it's popular. I would like to try it out. So I was probably 6 or 7 years old. My great aunt lived in New York City. My family and my aunts and uncles on my mom's side, because it was my mom's aunt. Like, we all went there for Thanksgiving. And we were walking around in New York on the way to the parade, and there's a guy selling like balloon animal type stuff, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I want that. And so, I threw a little, fit like, 6-year-olds do. And my mom bought me a balloon sword. And I thought this was the coolest thing ever. I had this balloon sword. It was blue, and I was swinging around. We're walking around New York City. I'm swinging around this balloon sword. And I'm swinging it way too much. And my uncle, who is a smoker, I swing the sword too much, and the balloon hits the cigarette, and it pops the sword. And I freak the heck out. Nonstop crying for like, I don't know how long. Probably annoying the crap out of my entire family. We get to the parade route, and we're sitting there, and I'm still upset, but my aunt is trying to cheer me up. And the parade's going by, and there is... I'm really going to show my age here. There is a section of the parade that is Archie and the gang characters. Like Archie, Betty, Veronica, Jughead. They're all walking by, like, in these suits. They got, like, the weird, like, heads and everything. Like, whole, like, costumes. And my great aunt does not recognize Archie and the gang. So Jughead's walking by, and my aunt thinks it's Pinocchio. And she starts screaming out, trying to get Jughead to come over and cheer me up, but she's calling him Pinocchio, and she's like, hey, Pinocchio, Pinocchio, come here. And, he obviously doesn't realize she's talking to him because his name's not Pinocchio, it's Jughead. Or, I mean, actually, it's probably something like, Frank, I don't know. I'm assuming his real name wasn't Jughead. He was just playing Jughead. And so he just walks by, and it was the first time in my life, at just 6, 7 years old, however old I was, it was the first time I actually experienced cringe. Because I knew it was Jughead, and I was so embarrassed that my great aunt was calling him Pinocchio in front of all of New York. So that's my Macy's Day Parade story. You like how you can buy artisanal fudge and car parts in the same store? I would like that. Kind of like Cuphead. Very similar. Skulls of the Cats. What's going on? Dang it. See, now I'm overshooting by one every time. Natasha. Hello. Happy Saturday. And thank you all for the subs that we're getting. You guys are crushing it. Now you want to listen to Warning. Warning's a good song. Expect a slightly more climactic ending to that story, but that's also so hefty. Nothing is more hefty of a story than a big build-up and a letdown at the end. Kieran, what's going on? Good to see you. Oh, you meant the album? Yeah, the album is good. I haven't listened to Warning in a while. Story was not a letdown. Well, I appreciate you saying that. You know what is a letdown? That we've hatched almost 175 eggs with no shiny yet. Come on now. What am I gonna have to do? Go to odds? Is that kind of like Cuphead? I misread that area. I thought you were saying it was like Cuphead, and I was just saying yes because I felt like I missed some sort of reference. No, Jughead is a character from the Archies. He likes to eat hamburgers, and he wears a crown. I'm sure if you saw a picture of him, you would recognize him. I don't know if you ever saw the hit CW show Riverdale. He was a main character in that as well. It'll shine at 420. I'd be okay with that. That would still be under odds. The only thing is, like, the only reason why I'm getting impatient already is I don't just need one. I need two. If we only needed one, we could be at, like, I don't know, 500 before I start getting impatient. But I don't want to go, like, over odds on, you know, two of these. You know what I mean? Same thing happened to you with a balloon sword. Isn't that just, like, the worst? It'd be a boomer thing to do in the 90s. Yeah. It was the 80s, but yeah. And she was from the greatest generation. Thank you very much. I don't know why I felt like so defensive about that. My parents are boomers. So I would assume then, if my parents are boomers, I would assume that my great aunt was a GG. Actually, I don't know. I don't even know when she was born. 30s? 30s maybe? I don't know what generation that is. But yeah, he's just like, you know, he's a little white boy with black hair, and he's got like a longish nose. So, I mean, they have traits that are similar. Silent Generation? I thought Silent Generation... I don't know, John. You might be right. Yeah, because I guess the Greatest Generation would have fought in World War II, which means they would have been born like in the 20s or prior. John, you are a smart person. 2 generations before Hefty Generation. Yeah, I feel like there used to be more generations, too. I feel like when I was growing up, there was, like, the Flower Power Generation, and the Me Generation, and, there's something in the 70s, I can't remember what they were called. But now I feel like they're more, like, there's, like, less generations, they just cover more years now. I don't know why we're talking about this. I mean, it's fine that we're talking about this. I just can't. It's strange where our conversations go sometimes. Let's get shinies. Is anybody else hunting for something right now? And if you are, let me know what you're hunting. All right, here we go. Another 5 checks. Oh, Mom got Wordle in 4. I beat her today. I got it in 3. I'm drawing a self-portrait the past 2 days. Oh, that's awesome. You're happy being a millennial? I was really close to being a millennial. Like, literally, like, 6 months away from being a millennial. I am the butt end of Gen X. My friend got a Shundo recently that I probably wouldn't like. What, a Shundo Reggie Drago? Because actually, that's pretty sweet. I got it. Ah, it's so good. Hope I'm having a great Saturday. Natasha, how can I not be having a great Saturday hanging out with you? Come on now. Finished the Roly Coly line this week. First time while I've been motivated to finish something. Not sure what to do next. Is that in Scarlet Violet? Breaking the foosball table went well. I'm pretty happy with it. Nice. How many times has your wife kicked your butt? No shiny. We're getting close to 200 on this. You got Wordle in 3, but as usual, no idea what the word means. I literally just looked at it and already forgot what it is. I'm terrible with that. Oh, I will DM you because I don't want to give any spoilers in the chat. It might be. I was gonna say it might be an English word, but all the words in Wordle literally are English words. So I don't know why I just. Okay, just DM'd you. Scrolling through YouTube Shorts, take some shiny luck. Daisy, thank you so much. I can always use some shiny luck, so I appreciate it. I've been playing a bunch of Shield today too. Never touched the DLC. Been doing that for the most part. Oh my gosh, Natasha. In my humble opinion, the DLC for Sword and Shield is the best DLC that Pokemon has ever had, particularly Crown Tundra. Francisco, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome to the party, pal. Indeed, thank you, Bruce. Let's get some sub hype. We're crushing it on the sub say. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you were all in such a good, generous mood today, but I appreciate it. I got bitten by the magical girl bug again and have been drawing your female characters as magical girls. Oh, that's cool, as well as some of your friends. That's pretty dang awesome. Nice, Airy. Good job. You understand why it's loved? You're having a blast. It's definitely a blast. I think of doing the Ditto or the Meowth line. All 6 of them. You got 1 Kanto so far. Do the Meowth, Eric. That's a, I don't want to say it's a. I mean, it can be a fun hunt, but it's a satisfying hunt because like there's so many Meowths and Meowth's family members that like being able to like knock them all out feels like such an accomplishment. And they're varied enough that it doesn't feel like it gets old. Like when I did all my EVs, it felt like an accomplishment getting all 9 of my EVs, but like by like the 4th or 5th one, it was kind of like, I'm ready to move on to something else. I think doing all the Meowths, like you won't get that as much. What other hunts do I have planned? Well, I need to also MASUDA hunt a Unovan Daramaka. And I also need to get a Blip Bug, and for that one, I think I'm going to do Wild Encounters. Overworld Wild Encounters on Route 2, above the lake. That's how I got the other ones, and I think by that point, I'll be pretty burnt out on MASUDA again, particularly because we have 17 MASUDA hunts to do in Scarlet and Violet after that. In Scarlet and Violet, I need to get all 9 starters and Premier Balls. I need Hisuian Growlithe and Arcanine. I need Hisuian Zorua and Zoroark. I need a female Hisuian Sneasel and a Sneasler. And I need male and female Basculegion. So I got that going for me. What's the Wordle word? You don't Wordle, but your boss at the former workplace did. I have a really big word collection somehow, and half the time don't know how you know them. I don't want to say what the word is in case there's anybody in the chat that Wordles that hasn't Wordled yet today. I do know that if you're genuinely curious, there's several websites that get updated every day that give you clues and stuff and do end up giving you the answer. If you really are curious what the word is today, but I'm not going to say what it is in the chat. Fire up Sword today. It's been a while. Do it. Sword and Shield is awesome. I think that I literally just checked this, didn't I? Why did I go to the camp? Don't say the word. I'm not saying the word, John. I'm not saying the word. I would never do that to you. You know I would never do that to you. Two, 3, 4, 5. That's a pretty cool number. All right, yeah, we're good. We're good on eggs. We got to hatch some. 2, 3, 4, 5 is a pretty sweet number. Not as sweet as 2, 3, 50, but didn't think about that. Oh no, Lacey, you're fine. You're fine. Nothing to apologize for. It's not like you said the word. But yeah, Wordle's fun. My dad and I have been doing connections together on the phone in the morning as well, now that we can't do the mini crossword puzzle. He's getting good at those. My dad is a very smart guy. Connections has taken him a while to get used to because he's such a logical thinker. Like his job was literally logistics. It's hard to get him to think outside of the box. You know, and some of those connections categories are very outside the box. But he's starting to train his brain to think that way. You're the worst at connections. It definitely takes some practice. Because it's not about being smart or not smart or anything like that. It's just about training your brain to think differently. Let's get to 3, 4, 5, 6. I love that idea, Natasha. Let's do it. Natasha, have you subbed yet? You should sub. You love when the number counts are one right after the other. Your favorite time of the day is 12:34, right? Yes. I don't like that means that my lunch is more than half over, but I love the consecutive numbers. How are we doing on the like goal, by the way? I'm curious to know if we've hit the like goal of 15 yet. I can't see how many likes we have at the moment because of the stupid way that YouTube now has YouTube Studio set up. So I got to take your guys' word for it whenever we hit a like goal. We're at 23. You guys are slacking. Come on now. You guys have been around here long enough. You know, once we hit the like goal, you got to throw a new one in the chat for me to pin. Thank you all for the likes, by the way. All right, 4 eggs. 4 eggs to get. 4 eggs to collect. Go collect 5. 5 is too many. 3 eggs. 3 eggs to collect. Here's a question. Does anyone remember what the first shiny Pokemon they MASUDA hunted was? For me, it was Scorbunny. You like the stream at least 67 times? Nice, Natasha. Nice. I almost did it. But I steal enough from Nick. Scorbunny was your first MASUDA hunt too? Sweet. Galarian Ponyta? Nice. You saw that smile? Yeah, I have a nice smile. And in the wrong what? The wrong ball? What ball was it? Dang it, Jerry. Now I've lost count. Okay, 2 more. 2 more eggs. Eevee and Heart Gold. Wow. Wow, I've never MASUDA hunted prior to Gen 7. I don't even think I MASUDA anything in Gen 6. Quick Ball. You don't like to talk about it. It's okay, Jerry. It's all right. I've had many shinies in Great Balls or Repeat Balls. Repeat Balls, those hurt. Those hurt, but I did back in the day have a lot of Repeat Ball shinies. Charmander's pretty good. Scorbunny, Sobble, then Grookey. I did Scorbunny, then I did Grookey, and then I did Phalanx. Charmander and Scarlet, as you didn't know what MASUDA was until that gen. You think you were just going in Dexor with the new Galarmons? That sounds like something you would do, Matthew. You had a chance to get a French Ditto. Oh, oui, oui. Sacre bleu. Baguette. So you used it? Of course you did. You'd be a fool not to. And you're not a fool. Hero, give Merlin and Vivian my best. Tell them that I hope they have a lovely weekend. You heard about MASUDA breeding. After Gen 6 came out, your first son was Eevee, and you wound up getting 2 females before accidentally getting a male. You have odd Eevee luck. That's crazy. 2 females. Just unique Monzo. Haven't finished Masuing the set. Not sure if you ever will. You will. Happy birthday, Jess. Hope you're doing well. You working today? Oh my gosh, that hasn't happened in a while. We hatched the eggs before we collected the eggs. Work at 1 today, gotcha. I've been trying to trade most of the legendaries from Gen 1 to 8 on home so you can transfer them onto Go, or transfer them from Go into the main series games. Do that. Do that. Absolutely. We're going to look you up politely today. How does one wake someone up politely? Let me rephrase. How does a cat wake someone up politely? Because I know how cats can wake people up. Sprinting across your head. For a cat, that's very polite. I remember when I had a cat, and when she would wake me up, it would just be this. Until I got up. Wow, I really, really knocked that around. It's worth it, though. Yes, happy birthday, everyone. Sounds painful. She did not have her front claws, so at least I had that going for me. Cat's been sleeping on your head, so waking you up a ton. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like some inherent biological need that cats have, that they are required to sleep in the most inconvenient way possible for their owners. New season of Lincoln Lore this weekend. Which season is that, Kieran? Is that season 3? I watched the first season and I liked it. And then I saw the second season came out, gosh, over a year ago, and I was excited, but then I forgot about it. And I never sat down and watched it. Vivian's very polite. Season 4, oh, I am so out of the loop. I did enjoy the first season. Thing about cats that they know if we need some space, and they know if we need some space, they don't care at all. That is very accurate. Vivian's very polite. She scrapes her claws on the wall to make it screech, but not on you. I guess, yeah, if given the choice, I would rather it be on the wall and not on my face. You jacked the sentence all up. I jacked the reading all up. There's just a whole bunch of jacking going on today. Three eggs. We need 3 eggs. What's up, Razzie? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Yes, please. That mail came as number 26 in the first box. First box? Holy smokes. I got an Eevee with Yon, Wish, Curse, and some other useful stats move you want those on Eevee Lucian team. That sounds pretty sweet. I love coming up with good movesets. I'm just terrible at it. New season of Invincible next month, too. Can't wait. I gotta get caught up. I gotta get freaking caught up. I am on book 7 of the 12 that I currently own. I believe there's 25 total. I'm not saying I want to read all 25 before I start getting back into the show again, but I would like to at least finish the 12 that I own. The issue is that my reading list is just it's getting ridiculous. I'm going to be finishing up my Teen Titans book today. And then I was going to go straight into Luke Cage, but I got a notification last night that my new Batman books are going to be shipped out in the next few days, and I still have one from last month's package that I got to read, so I'm going to knock that one out real quick. It's getting crazy. Not to mention there's actual books that are on my nightstand waiting for me to read too. Hero, your Audi has never watched Severance, just like you. You gotta fix that. You never had a cat before, only a few dogs? It's funny. I always grew up with a dog. After college, I had a cat. I gave that cat to my parents because I couldn't take care of it myself. And now my parents, which always had dogs, now have cats. So my family completely switched from dog people to cat people. So I need to read 9 of 7 Kingdoms before you watch the show. I've read... So the first season is based off of the first story, my understanding. I've read that one. I'm about halfway through the second one. I mean, I have the book that has the first 3. I think it's... Is it called 9 of 7 Kingdoms? I have that book hardback. So I'm like halfway through that book. That should take care of the first 3 seasons for me. I still need to get back to Fire and Blood. Your Audi loves ham sandwiches, but only with Swiss cheese. That's incorrect. What kind of cheese goes on the ham sandwich, Jess? You can't sit and watch a show in one sitting. You always want to walk around. You know what I've been doing lately? And I don't know if it's because of, like, me being more active. Well, Kieran, that, you know, mutual thing there. I've found myself standing in front of the TV a lot more lately. Like, I'll stand in the middle of the living room, like, you know, drinking a cup of coffee or something, watching TV. Medium cheddar. I'm not a huge cheddar fan. My go-to is provolone. I also like Swiss. If we're talking burgers, it should be American, in my opinion. But cheddar, I've just never been a huge fan of. Now you want cheese? I always want cheese. Mozzarella. Mozzarella is really good too. I do like a good mozzarella. You're going to get a block of cheese? Grab one for me too, please. You always want cheese. Both of us. Both of us do. Blue cheese, I'm not a huge fan of. Your go-to is provolone. See, for burgers, like, if we're melting the cheese, I don't like provolone as much because it doesn't seem to melt as well. Like, it seems to still kind of... I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't seem to melt as well as other cheeses. If we're talking, like, sandwiches, like cold cuts and stuff, absolutely provolone. Pepper jack's good. You more than likely have pocket cheese at work. What's pocket cheese? Slice of grilled Houdini on garlic bread. I don't know what that is, but I do like garlic bread. Lactose intolerance, more like lactose challenge. Oh my gosh, I have a hilarious... Well, you know what, Matthew? Maybe I'm just terrible at making burgers, and maybe you should just come over and make them for me. How about that? I don't know why I got defensive on that. I don't know. It could just also be the brand of provolone that I buy. It just doesn't seem to melt that well. It just kind of, it retains its shape. Higher melting point than other cheeses. Oh, see. So now the truth comes out. I did kind of have a leg to stand on. I have a hilarious story about lactose intolerance. I have a friend. His name is Trevor. I went to college with him. And he was on, you know, like back, like in our 20s, we used to get together like every summer at like a friend's house for like a weekend, just like a big old bash, just have a great, you know, time. And people would drive around, you know, from hours. So my buddy Trevor, he got a ride with our other buddy, also named Matt, because they both lived in New Jersey and they were about 3 hours away from, you know, where the party was. Matt and Trevor only lived about 20 minutes away from each other. So, you know, Matt's like, okay, I'll drive. So they come to the party, have a great weekend, and it's Sunday. Both of them are not feeling their best. Yeah, come over here and make me a sandwich. Matt and Trevor were not feeling their best after the weekend. They were slightly, they had, you know, headache, a little dehydrated, just feeling a little worn down. And so they stop at a gas station on the way home, and Matt has been annoying Trevor the entire morning, just being, because Matt was that kind of guy. His nickname was Stifler. He was that kind of guy that would just needle you and poke you and just drive you nuts. So when they stopped at the gas station to get something, my friend Trevor, who's lactose intolerant, went inside, grabbed a bottle of milk, got in the car and chugged it. And then they had a 3-hour car ride home. That was Trevor's revenge. Yeah, 2 mats is pretty crazy. I know it's hard to believe. You just ate and now you want cheese. Razzie, what did you eat? What was for breakfast today? Oh, we need 1 more egg. Something's happening here. That's like the 2nd time we've hatched before we collected. Plot twist, he had cheese for breakfast. I mean, who doesn't? Is it really even breakfast if there's no cheese? Did I panic? Oh, I wasn't there. I wasn't... This is a story Trevor told me about later. I was not in the car with them. Thank goodness. I would imagine that the windows were down the entire trip. Eggs Benny? Ooh, I haven't had a good Eggs Benedict in a while. You always had the best breakfasts, Razzie. You still haven't eaten? I have not either. Who plays ZA? Christian, welcome in. I play ZA. I'm not playing it right now, obviously. But, yeah, I play it. I'm sure a lot of people here do. Newest Pokemon game of the series and all that. Do you play it? Do you like it? If you do. Always on Saturday, you hit that diner hard. They must love you to death. They must get the biggest smiles on their faces when you walk in. Like, are you at the point, like, when you go in and you get your, your regular table and your regular waitress, do you ask the waitress, like, hey, Betty, how the kids doing? And she's like, oh, Razzie, they're doing great. Jimmy's doing good. He's in a couple of college prep classes this year. He's he's my bright boy. He's gonna make the family proud. And you're like, yeah, that sounds like Jimmy. Playing lots of Minecraft lately on a friend's modified realm, or you're spamming your area with random builds. I have a large house with an underwater hidden bedroom. That sounds pretty sweet. I'd like an underwater hidden bedroom. It's like Cheers, yes, you have your spot at the counter and they just ask what size for the coffee. That's awesome. Probably makes the entire week. I'm sure it is. I'm sure they fight over who gets to wait on Razzie. Ties with Hefty at Henry's Barbecue. I wish me too. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I actually haven't been there in a while. I think the last time I went there was when the Dice Arts came to visit. They are nice people though. But I haven't been there that frequently to the point where they they know me by name. I mean, I think they recognize me at this point, but no, I haven't gotten to that elite status yet. So hungry, food tech. I know, I'm hungry too. I don't know why we do it to ourselves. I don't know why we get on a Pokemon live stream chat and for some reason our base instinct is to just talk about food for several hours. I need an Alpha Onyx holding metal coat and it has to be male. Unfortunately, I can't help you with that, Christian. I don't know if there's anybody in the chat currently that could. If they can, I'm sure they'll let you know. What's going on, Skrilbo? Happy Saturday. A small cherry build, a great big sky castle, and now something you're not sure what to do with that's made of prismarine and magma blocks. I have played. There's another best. I have played probably a combined total of 7 hours of Minecraft, exclusively with my friend Shinies, who's also a live streamer. And what I have become very good at is ruining Shiny's plans and dying on the first day. Taquitos. I could go for taquitos. Water day instead of coffee. Yeah, I already had my coffee this morning. And, you know, now that we're streaming at, now that we're starting at 10 in the morning my time, we're starting to get a little bit outside of coffee time. Like, by 10 in the morning, I don't feel like I need another cup. And you got served at the counter last week for some food, and you panicked when they referred to you by your name. Realized you still had your work ID badge on. What is your name, Kieran? Alternate, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome in. I mean, you don't have to share that if you don't want, Kieran, but I was just curious. It's always coffee time. Well, I also need to buy some more coffee. I'm getting low on coffee pods. But like I said, if anybody wants to just like send me like groceries for, you know, delivery today, so I don't have to go out into the sub-zero temperatures, you know, I wouldn't turn that down. If anybody just wants to like, you know, send over some K-Cups to my house. Your go-to song is Antimatter, and their latest song is amazing. I missed it. Who are we talking about? Silent Planet? I have not heard of them. I heard a song by Falling in Reverse the other day for the first time. And like, I'm familiar with Falling in Reverse. I've heard, you know, some of their songs over the last several years. But I heard one the other day. It was the first time I had heard it. And I got to be honest, I was not a fan. I was not a fan of the song. You need the Pokemon, not shiny. Alternate, which Pokemon are you talking about? Are you talking about Galarian Corsola? Which song was it? Bad Guy. Was not a fan of Bad Guy. What's up, Quasar? Being dragged along to see Pitbull this year. Anybody here ever watch Big Mouth? One of the characters had a pit bull named featuring Ludacris. That always cracked me up. You haul it out an ice spike and you're turning that into a house. That's cool. You love Big Mouth? Oh my gosh. Jerry, how have we not talked about it before? I was shocked when I found out how good of a show that is. Sad they killed Human Resources. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Human Resources, but I don't know. For me, I feel like it kind of... It did what it needed to do. I don't know how much more of it I needed, personally. You watched some of it, Jess? I really like it. I thought it was a very funny show. Thinger's a jerk. I don't know anything about the people in Falling in Reverse. I couldn't even tell you what the singer's name is. But I have heard a few songs over the last several years. So I like the silent comedy. I do too. And there are some scenes in that show that will live on in my head forever because they're just so freaking hilarious. Gone back to playing OG Final Fantasy VII after playing the remake. Currently in the Northern Crater, gained to level 99 before you fight Sephiroth. Nice, nice. I need to. Okay, so I'm gonna start over. The other day, Nintendo had a partner showcase in Nintendo Direct, and one of the things they talked about was the Final Fantasy Remake Part 2. I played the Final Fantasy Remake Part 1 on the PlayStation 4 when it first came out. And then I never played Part 2 because I believe that was at the time only on PS5. I don't think they released on PS4. Now that the Part 2 is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, I'm thinking about picking up Part 1 on Switch 2 and replaying that. I don't know how much it is. Like I don't even know. Like I didn't even know it was on the Switch 2. I'm assuming it's on the Switch 2 because they're releasing Part 2. Shiny Bolt King, it has been a while. Good to see you. Do I know anything about UFC? Everything I know about UFC I learned from one episode of Friends with Jon Favreau. Jerry, one scene from Big Mouth that will live in my head rent-free for the rest of my life is there was an episode where Andrew soils himself at Panera Bread, and it's bad. It's a mess, and so he has to walk home wearing a bread bowl as underpants. That like my friend Katie came over because we used to watch that show together. And we had to pause the show for like 5 minutes because we couldn't see. We were crying. We were laughing so hard at watching him walk down the street wearing a bread bowl as underpants. A singer Rodney Radke in the music industry is what Chael Sonnen is to UFC trash talker, and that's it. Okay, thank you for asking if I knew anything about UFC. I humorously, said that I didn't, and then you went ahead with the UFC comparison. I'm just teasing you. That's just funny though. But I understand. I can use context clues to figure out what you're saying. He's kind of a jerk. Big Mouth is the wildest, most amazing garbage you've ever seen. It is. Amazing garbage is a fantastic description of that show. BT Dubs, for anyone that isn't familiar with the show, it is hardcore R-rated. I don't want to get in trouble from anyone's parents by recommending it. Don't watch it if you don't have gray hair already. Plot with Jada's Pillows. I've never seen anything like that on television before. Polar Opposites. I watched the first season when that came out on Hulu. I enjoyed it. I know there's like a ton of seasons now. I'd like to go back and watch it. That's a show I haven't thought about in a long time. But no, I liked it. Talented for sure, but he also knows that social media is just trolling everyone. Gotcha, one of those people. Not Jess, I'm just teasing you. You know I'm just teasing you. Singer from Trapped had a huge Twitter meltdown a few years ago and he got permabanned. I don't typically share my opinions on things, but I will share this one. In my opinion, getting permabanned on Twitter is a step in the right direction. That is a sign that your life is improving. Not because of the things that you said on Twitter, but the fact that you no longer will be on Twitter. That's an improvement. You have a specific line from that Jon Favreau episode of Friends. Which line, Razzie? I haven't heard of any of these shows. Yeah, there's some great horrible shows out there. I'm telling you, the day will come when children will argue over who will win a fight, me or Superman. Now, I'm not saying I could beat Superman, but kids are stupid. That is a great line. They had one hit song. I recognize the name. I could not, with a gun to my head, tell you what that song is, though. I know I've heard it, but I cannot remember what song that would have been. Strong. Yep. Headstrong. Yep. Yep. There it is. most 2000 song ever. It's pretty close, yeah. Song in that genre played your 10th grade dance, and they said, nope, you kids need to calm down. So I work at an advertising agency. And actually, you know what? Let me tell you this quick little story. I know Kieran and Matthew and Jerry have already heard this. At work yesterday, boss comes in. He brought in lunch for everybody. He made sandwiches and he brought in some pizza, and he made salads. And so I go out there. I'm like, oh, what'd you bring in? And I'm looking. I was like, oh, that looks good. And he says, yeah, there's something else in that bag over there. Check it out. And I was like, okay. So I open this bag and there's a chocolate cake in there. I'm like, oh, nice, chocolate cake. And he's like, yeah, you know what that's for, don't you? And I was like, I think Matt's. I have another person that works with me named Matt. There's a lot of Matts in my life. I said, I think Matt's birthday was yesterday. And he goes, it was yesterday, but do you know what today is? And I'm like, no. And he's like, it's your work anniversary. I totally forgot that yesterday was my work anniversary, but my boss remembered, and he bought me a cake. I thought that was really nice. Why was I telling that story, though? Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I work at an advertising agency, worked there for 19 years as of yesterday. Prior to that, I worked at another advertising agency for 5 years. And at that previous agency, the owner of the agency had a wife that owned a dance studio. So the one of our video editors would get stuck editing dance dance recital videos for the parents of the kids that go to the dance studio. Just one of those things that really shouldn't be a thing that's part of your job description, but you're in your 20s and you're not going to say anything. So yeah, you're getting paid to edit videos for your boss's wife's dance studio. And one guy, in order to keep his sanity, he would like to take the edited dance videos and put them to other music. So he did this one cut of these adorable little 6 and 7-year-old girls doing a dance recital and put it to Drowning Pools Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. And it's hilarious. Hey There Delilah, that's a good song. Hadaway, that's Was Love, that's a very 90s song. I Want It That Way. Yeah, now we're talking very, very late 90s. That's definitely a 90s song, though. You forgot why you're telling a story about a story of how you forgot something. That's your 40s. That's what you have to look forward to, Kieran. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Hit Me Baby One More Time. I Want It That Way. Yep. For me, I think OMC's How Bizarre would be up there. What is the one? Hold on. I'm going to have to look this up. Show Me Love by Robin. That's up there too. That's got to be one. Mbop's definitely one. Jason Waterfalls, absolutely. Yeah, basically anything by TLC. No Scrubs, definitely. End of the Road, oh my gosh. That was middle school dance right there. That was 6th grade dance. Exactly. That's exactly what it looked like, Lacey. It was amazing. Anne Marie, good morning. How Bizarre. That's your personal favorite 90s song? I like the part where he talks about going to the zoo and seeing lions, snakes, monkey. Runaway Train. Yep, some Soul Asylum. Electric Slide. That's a blast from the past right there. All right, now that Anne-Marie is here, we should celebrate by opening up some pocket packs. And I'm going to be opening up a 10-pack. What year did One Headlight come out? That had to have been like 96, 97. Fastball's the Way. That's another one. Fastball's the Way is definitely a big 90s song. But yeah, in honor of Anne-Marie being here, we're going to open up a 10-pack. With a name like Soul Asylum, you'd think they played metal music. Yeah, they were surprisingly a little soft alternative for a name like that. Like I remember Runaway Train, I remember Misery. John Stricker with the 23 months of membership. Jordan month. That's right, Jordan month. What? Weber. Kieran, would it really be a hefty Pokemon card without some sort of typo? This is like literally the third time. The third time I've remade this, and I just said screw it. I don't care. It's wherever now. Wherever is a word. All right, we got Persian. Ooh, full art Vivian like that. Roselia. Vanillite. Misery played the end of Clerks too. Yeah, you're right. It did. Sightseer. Torn. Oh my gosh. You know what? Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Lacey, 100%. Totally agree. Here's a confession. Torn came out 97, maybe 98. All I know is that it was all over the radio. It was all over MTV. Yes, I said MTV. It's all over MTV my senior year of high school into my freshman year of college. Watch the music video for Natalie Imbruglia's Torn. I had the biggest crush on 1997-ish's Torn era Natalie Imbruglia. I thought she was the hottest little thing that ever was ever. The song's called Torn. She was beautiful. She still is. That I don't typically talk about Hollywood crushes. There haven't been a lot in my life because I have I don't know if you want to call it the um, pragmatism or the self-confidence issues that I'm like, why bother having a crush? It's never going to happen. Hugest crush ever on Natalie Imbruglia. She's 51 now. You know what? You know what? That's not too far out for me. On Monica, not so much. There's something different about Monica for me. I don't know. I guess out of all, I don't know. I don't know if I ever had a crush on any of the friends. All right, let's open these packs. Let's stop talking about like who I was attracted to. Natalie Imbruglia. All right, Belly Bolt, Cramorant, Vanillite, Alolan Meowth. That's a sign, Eric. And a Reboot. I did get a shiny Tangela this morning, which was pretty awesome. Rock and roll. At least you're proud of it. You know what? I am proud of it. I'd take that. Vigoroth, Litleo, Mousehold, Gossifleur. Your random school crush was Shania Twain. The main one was Kimberly from Power Rangers. Everybody had a crush on Kimberly. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that beauty. Anne Marie, thank you so much. You always bring me the best luck. That is gorgeous. Slack off. Galarian Mr. Mime. Sandshrew. Double, but I don't care. It's a cute card. Spupa. Vivian. Choodle. Galarian Lanoon. Scatterbug. Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. Choodle. Oh, shiny Fanpy. Nice. Cute little guy. Choodle. Machamp. Plusle. Galarian Ponyta. Skuntank. Yeah, Lacey, I can't believe I got that card. That's so awesome. Jessica Alba, yeah, that she was an attractive lady. Mudkip, Mawile, Purloin, Scrafty, Swellow, Aracuda, Granbull, Spupa, Tandemouse, nice. Guzzlord, nice. Galarian Rapidash, Tadbulb, Cacnea, Machoke, Meloetta, Poltegeist, Meowth. It's a sign. It's a sign, Eric. Indeedee, nice. Cacnea, Galarian Mr. Rhyme. Okay. Not too shabby, I would say. I just want to see how many cards I'm missing now. 1 second. Luck is crazy. You have one shiny from the set. It's you, Amory. You are my shiny charm. Okay, I now have 104 out of the 155 base cards. I have 8 full art cards, and I have 5 shinies. Not too shabby. All right, let's get back to it. Light goal 35. Thank you so much, John Struckert. Finally, someone gave me a light goal. Nev Campbell and Scream as well. That was someone you had a huge crush on. Nev Campbell, yeah, she was an attractive lady. I mean, she still is, but yeah, Nev Campbell, totally. Will you be my shiny charm? Oh my gosh, Jerry, you totally need to use that. You should write that on the card that you get your wife. And she'll look at you and be like, what? What? Guys, I'm so excited. Can I tell you guys a secret and you'll just keep it here? You know, like, can I tell you guys something in confidence and not let it get around on the internet? We'll just, you know, it's just between you and me. I'm very excited about Thursday's Chem Nation stream. No. Okay, Razzie says no. Never mind then. Razzie will tell. Choo Choo choose you using Phalanx redrawn as a train. Matthew, that's brilliant. I say to the wife, and she's like, "Brother, are you good?" Sounds about right. You make that's your pinky promise. Okay. So, all right, just between us. Razzie, cover your ears. I'm very excited about Kem's stream on Thursday because that's going to be his last stream before Valentine's Day. Last fall, at some point, Kem was flickering through different different filters, and he stumbled upon one that I was like, that is a perfect filter to do for Valentine's Day, and I wrote down the name of the filter. And I'm very excited about hopefully landing on Chem Filter on Thursday and making him do this filter. It's probably going to be hilarious to me and no one else. Maybe Shiny's because he also has a terrible sense of humor like me. But I'm looking forward to it. Puritan Valentine's Day e-cards are the best. I love those e-cards. There was a period of time where I never sent anything other than e-cards. What was the name of that website? Some e-cards. Some e-cards. That was the website. Not axolotl. No, no. This was a filter. Like there wasn't even any time spent on it. He was just like clicking through. But you know how he is. Like he says the name of the filter as he clicks through. I gotta make a custom Valentine's Day card for your fiance, and the friend will say, "I've been waiting my whole life to tell you this." Open the card, and the side says, "You look half decent today." That's savage. Whoops! I just bumped the table. All right, Jess. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for being here. All those are female. That's pretty crazy. What is the gender ratio for CORSOLA? I thought it was 50-50. Am I wrong? Because I feel like there's been quite a few times where we've gotten all 5 females. $25.75 male to female? Really? I didn't know that. I wonder why. I'm not complaining, but like a lot of times with the gender ratio, like it makes sense. Like either mechanics wise or logic wise, like the starters and EVs having a 7-to-1 ratio, like that makes sense in the fact that it's just, it should be rare. There should be some, the chance of a rarity of something. And then there's other things that like it makes sense that it would be more likely to be male or female or vice versa. CORSOLA doesn't really make much sense to me. Slowpoke, what's going on? Good to see you. Dead Coral has a gender? Apparently. Will you be the hefty to my Reggie Drago? You too. You're silly. I like it. Maybe hefty's just a chick magnet. Yes, they just... Well... I am a chick magnet, but the polarities are reversed, so... I repel. No, that's not true. Right, this is the last egg. Last egg before we hatch. Wolf and Jerry would be a great radio talk host channel name. You two should start a podcast together. Why don't you do that? Wolf and Jerry. And then we can listen to the podcast while I stream. Look at that. It's called Synergy. Wolf and Jerry in the mornings. Jerry and the Wolf. I'm not doing sound effects. I need to set up a soundboard and have the most random noises on it. Like, not even like, quotes or clips from things. Just like a bicycle horn or a crow or the sound of ice dropping into a glass. That was the coolest voice I've done when I said Wolf. Okay, Mewtwo, you've been watching my channel for almost 4 years now, and me just now saying Wolf is the coolest I've ever sounded. That's sad. That makes me sad. I think I started a podcast. I basically discuss movies, music, and video games. There you go. I can be the first guest on the show and the last one. The ratings are so bad on the hefty interview that the whole thing gets shut down. A Chem Sneeze, Rebecca Black Friday, Prince Mike. No, that's too referential, Razzie. The Chem Sneeze, maybe not. But Rebecca Black Friday and Prism Mike, that's too Wait! I get you, Razzie. Those were like the first 3, weren't they? I forgot about the Chem Sneeze. But no, I just want like random noises. What the heck's a bicycle horn? Dude, like, do you know nothing about the 1800s? Gina, please. Auga! Pee Wee Herman had a bicycle horn on his bicycle, didn't he? Gurgles. Gurgles would be a random noise. It's not so much an awooga. Awooga is like an old-timey jalopy horn. A bicycle horn is more like a... You know what? Hold on. That's a bicycle horn. All right, I'm glad we did that. Sword and Shield in 2026. Nice throwback. That's right, Smiley. Yeah, I'm trying to finish up my Shiny Living Premier decks, and I do need. I just looked at this and I already forgot. I do need a Galarian Corsola and Cursola in Premier Balls. I have your dog's attention. Nice. SSX Tricky. I do remember that game. That was a good game. N64? $10.80 was good too. Yeah. I know. Hold on. I know I played SSX Tricky, and I've never owned an Xbox, and I didn't have a PlayStation until I was in college. This is why I can't hatch more than 150 eggs a day anymore. GameCube. It was on GameCube. Okay, I played it in college. It was on GameCube. My roommate must have had it. My roommate, my senior year, had a GameCube. Oops. What's an X-Bob? That's a good question. Well, Cephalon had a clown nose, right? That would be pretty funny. But yeah, 1080 snowboarding was good. SSX Tricky was good. I think I liked SSX Tricky more. 1080 snowboarding, that one was on the N64. I'm pretty sure. That's right, Scrubbo. There was a time. There was a time when they were all pretty equal. But yeah, I didn't read it out loud, but I think Kira let me know that Final Fantasy VII Reborn, or whatever it's called, is $39.99 on Switch 2. I think that's appropriate. I don't know when I'm going to pull the trigger on that, but Cynthia Bulba's mom just subscribed. Thank you so much. Drop a like and a sub. Keep up good work. I appreciate you. All came crashing down when Final Fantasy VII went to PlayStation. Yeah. I mean, at that point, I think that was the point where Nintendo had to say, like, look, we're not going to be able to keep up with the technology. Let's just try and focus on the gameplay, which for me works pretty well. Bulba King's been naughty today. Uh-oh. I'll keep an eye on him. Yeah, imagine. It's crazy. You go back and you read about how the PlayStation itself actually was intended to be the next gen of Nintendo, but Nintendo didn't want to go from cartridge to disc. So they had the huge falling out with Sony. It wasn't just the technology. Nintendo wouldn't budge on anything but PG language. Well, I mean, I can understand that though. I mean, honestly, I can. Just for me personally, language I don't care that much about. Like, I don't need strong language to enjoy a video game. And I mean, Nintendo's always promoted themselves as pretty family friendly. So I mean, it seems pretty on brand. That's just my take on it. You feel free to disagree with me, but that doesn't bother me at all. Jimmy, I do play Pokemon Go. I mean, I'm not playing it right now, but I'm also not like hardcore into it. Like, I'll do like community days and like Go Fest. Other than that, like I'll check the spawns around my house or work every day, but I don't spend a lot of time like doing raids and things like that. Snowboard Kids and Snowboard Kids 2 far better than 1080. I haven't heard of Snowboard Kids. Pokemon Go is for squares. If Pokemon Go is for squares, Wolf, you are like a cube. Oh, sure. I'm not saying you can't have well-written dialogue that contains language, but I don't feel like language is needed. Or like, not needed. I don't feel like a game will be less than solely because it doesn't have language. I got him so good. Yeah, you will never recover from that, Matthew. You will live the rest of your life in the agony and the ashes of your defeat. Sad that Snowboard Kids games aren't on the Nintendo Online Pack because you play this for hours and hours without anything bothering you. I have said it before. I will say it again. I don't know why. This is kind of like my sticking point lately. I'm on this kick. I wish they would bring back the Virtual Console. I appreciate that they're giving us like quote-unquote free games when you have NSO, but the library is not that robust, and the majority of those games are, let's just say that there's a very obvious reason why those games are not an additional cost. Let me buy the classic games I want to play again. Bring it back. I can't imagine Crystal Chronicles being peak FF graphic. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about Crystal Chronicles. That's how bad that game was. I erased it from my memory. That was worse than Mystic Quest for me. Snow Bros? I've never heard of that. You guys gotta keep in mind. You know, I was talking to somebody at work yesterday about video games, and they were asking if I was a gamer, and I said I do play a lot of video games, but I wouldn't consider myself a gamer. I said I'm very, very vanilla. I'm very generic when it comes to video games. I said if gaming was like radio stations, I am the Kiss FM top 40 type of gamer. Like, I play mostly Nintendo and mostly main franchises. There's not a lot of like indie games I play. There's like, I don't really venture outside my wheelhouse too often. Biff and everyday conversations. Everyone should use the word Biff today. Bonus points if you can use the word Biff about someone named Biff. Oh, by the way, I know John Strecker was asking about this. John, for some reason, is always interested in what I'm doing. I don't know why anybody would be, but John is. I finished Arkham Asylum last Sunday while I was sick. I 100% Arkham Asylum. I started Arkham City. And then I took a break from that. I will get back to Arkham City, but I had a big hankering for some Kingdom Hearts. So I'm currently playing Kingdom Hearts 1. My goal is that with this playthrough, for the first time ever, I want to actually beat all the hidden bosses. So I'm talking too loud. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Eric. I will talk quieter. I know I typically have a habit of being too loud. I'm sorry. I've never beaten all the hidden bosses in Kingdom Hearts 1, so I want to do that here. I even, like, thought out my strategy a little bit. Your family's so weird. I'm sorry. Did they really think I was being too loud? You have no idea, like, how self-conscious I am now, because I'm always told I'm too quiet. And so now I feel like I'm being too loud, like I'm overcompensating. That really got in my head. Anyway, if you're familiar with Kingdom Hearts, I took the shield and dropped the sword, and I chose to have the experience gain be late stage. So it's going to be harder for it's going to take longer for me to level up to level, I think, 44 or 40. But then from that to level 100 will go quickly. This is my first time using Biff in a sentence. You've never used it before. Kieran, as always, I'm very proud of you. Your wordplay is second to none. Except for possibly Slowpoke. Slowpoke, for not being a native English speaker, makes the best puns I've ever read. And also, thank you to the subs. I see we are now at 2346. I appreciate that. You ever play the Kingdom Hearts games? They're fun. I like them. It's a good cross-section of role-playing and action. Hidden bosses in Kingdom Hearts 1. 2 bosses are more in the remix. So I had, like, the whole, like... I'll be right back. So I have the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one pack. So this has, and this came out after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So it's got Kingdom Hearts 3, but then it's also got the story so far, and this has Kingdom Hearts. There's Kingdom Hearts a Final Mix. Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Birth by Sleep Final Mix, RE Coded, Dream Drop Distance HD, Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary package, and Kingdom Hearts, I don't know what you want to call it, Kai. We've had this conversation before, almost ordering that, but you forgot. Yeah, because there was actually a period, a very brief period, where I was playing Birth by Sleep on the channel. But so in the final mix, right? In the final mix, it has, like for the hidden bosses, there's the one whose name I can never remember that is in Agrabah. It's like a robot bug-looking thing. It's got the Phantom in at Big Ben in Neverland. It's got Sephiroth. And then it's Kurt Ziza. That's it. That's it. Yeah, thank you. And it's got the final mix boss, which is it's like a proto Organization 13 boss. I honestly, because I don't even know if it's someone in particular. I don't know if it's like Axel or what. So that's the goal for this one. I'm actually going to get up to level 100 and beat the bosses. What's going on, James the Catboy? How late are you? 1 hour, 33 minutes. Or also, we can say you're not late at all. You're here exactly when you're supposed to be. So yeah, I am now on my way to... I can't remember the name of the level, but it's the Tarzan level. It's the jungle. Deep Jungle, I think it's called. So I'm heading over there. Kurt was actually a kid who won a contest to become a boss in Kingdom Hearts. That's what it was. Okay, yeah, because it's such a weird name. A few level 100 runs on Kingdom Hearts 1. I don't know if you ever got to 100 in Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, I've like Kingdom Hearts 2, like Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3, like I've like at one point or another like 100%ed everything. For some reason, I found those easier to do all the optional stuff, but for whatever reason, I've never been able to do it in the first one. Grinding was just worse than Kingdom Hearts 2? Oh, I would go to, wasn't there that one area in, I think, Hollow Bastion? It's the place where you fight like 1,000 Heartless. Could you? No, that was a one-time only thing. There's a place in Pride Rock. Pride Rock, it was like on top of Pride Rock, there was like a ton of the little bird-looking things. You could just do those over and over and over. That's where I always ground. That was my Chansey farming right there. Yeah, using Magnet, exactly. It's all coming back to me now. You just one-shot everything in Kingdom Hearts 1. I'll tell you what, with this playthrough, yeah, we're talking Kingdom Hearts. I started replaying Kingdom Hearts this week. I've never beaten all the optional bosses, so this playthrough that I'm doing, I want to get to level 100 and beat all the optional bosses at the end, all the hidden bosses. But like this playthrough that I'm doing now, I'm already noticing I'm killing stuff a lot faster than I'm used to. You're hatching a shield for your last blip bug. You're going to get it, Anne-Marie. I promise you this. You're going to get it before I get my blip bug. Kingdom Hearts 2 is your jam. So good. I love Kingdom Hearts 2. Also, I was a big fan of Birth by Sleep. I remember enjoying Dream Drop Distance, but I've never gone back and played it again, so I'm looking forward to doing that one as well. And I never beat... I'm going to do it this time. I've never beat Chain of Memories. I would always get to a certain point in Chain of Memories, and I would just stop. Dang it, I went one over. Just because I'm not a huge fan of the game mechanics in Chain of Memories. The whole, using the cards. I know it's all, the heart of the cards, but not for me. Resident Evil 4 is still probably your favorite game ever. I only ever played the first Resident Evil, and it was fun. My issue, though, is it's just a personal preference. I'm not a fan of games that have limited inventory. And obviously, like, that's a big thing with Resident Evil. And one of the things that makes the games, like, so challenging and fun to play is the limited inventory. I'm just not a huge fan of that personally. Maybe it's just because I'm just not a good enough gamer. But like having to like strategize out like when to use your ammo and stuff like that, I'm not good at that. I'm not good. I like watching people play Resident Evil. So it was way better in Resident Evil 4 for inventory, is it? Well, that's good. I'm pretty sure I've forgotten to increase the counter a couple times today, but I'm not that concerned. But I think we're getting close to half odds. Other games are pretty limited slots, like 6 to 8, yeah. Resident Evil 0 is god-awful for inventory, was it? Like, honestly, I really enjoyed playing Breath of the Wild when it first came out. I've tried a couple times to replay it, and I get to a certain point and I just stop. Because, God, as much as I love Zelda, I liked Breath of the Wild in spite of the fact that I hated the inventory system. My two biggest, or my two, I guess, least favorite game mechanics in video games are limited inventory and item durability. Don't tell me that this really awesome weapon I just got, I'm only going to be able to use for like 5 minutes before it breaks. Because what'll end up happening is I'll never use the cool I'll never use the cool weapons. I will never use them. And I'll be stuck playing the whole game using crappy weapons. Love the open world Zelda games, but you always get distracted and lost. I love the open worldness of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I love just exploring. I really love that aspect. I hate the inventory system, especially because when I'm exploring, I'm finding all sorts of cool crap. And then I have to choose, okay, do I take this or not? Sometimes you feel like organizing your inventory, see all the stuff you have to organize and say, never mind, right? Just put the cool ones on display in the house and use the sticks. That's what I'm saying here. Exactly. Like, there's so many cool weapons. It would probably make my life a lot easier if I used them. But I refuse to because I don't want them to break. So I basically just use garbage weapons until I get the Master Sword. Love the original Dead Island and also Riptide. I've never played those games. I've heard they're good. Limit Sword isn't a problem if it's an actual challenge, and Zelda's just annoying. Yeah, just let me hold whatever I want, you know? That's all I want. Better than the flop that was Dead Island 2. At least from what you've heard. Yeah, I've never played any of those. But like, okay, everyone, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the majority of people that are in the chat right now enjoyed Pokemon Legends Arceus. That had a limited inventory. There was also storage inventory, but like on your person, there's limited inventory. But that didn't seem like it was an issue. Like that never really caused problems for me. You disliked Arceus? Anne-Marie didn't like Arceus? Okay, well then I guess I'm wrong. Alright, I hope you're happy. You proved me wrong. But I'm willing to wager, Anne-Marie and Eric, that both of you will at least admit you didn't dislike it because of the limited inventory. That was not one of the reasons. I know, I'm just teasing Eric. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Like, I'm not a fan of ZA. And that's okay. I don't have to be a fan of ZA. And it doesn't bother me at all if other people are fans of ZA. I'm happy that people enjoyed the game. You like PLA, but because your organizing sucks so much, you managed to fill up an entire pasture at one point? Really? I never filled up the whole pasture. I'll tell you what though, my box organization in PLA and the base game of ZA was peak. I've never had better box organization than those two games. Never bothered me anyway, that's right. I just let it go, let it go. The limited inventory never bothered me anyway. Ah, I would never, James. I would never. I love a well-placed... Dang it! I love a well-placed reference. Still haven't finished the ZA DLC. I still need to go back and finish my living decks. I need to at least get... I need to shiny hunt Cobalion because, you know, even though I don't need it, I feel like I'd be a fool to not shiny hunt the Cobalion. I need to shiny hunt the Cobalion and then get to Keldeo, and I need Rotom. And I think that... Oh, and I gotta get Armarouge and Porygon Z. And then I think I'll have my living decks done. I want to at least get that done for what I'm assuming will be a home compatibility completion reward. Metroid Zero Mission. Oh, that's a great, great game, Lacey. Totally agree. I'm a huge Metroid fan. I love Metroid Zero Mission. I love Metroid Fusion. Huge fan of all of the Metroid Prime games. Only Metroid game I didn't really care that much for, but even so, I still didn't hate it as much as most people, was Other M. Definitely my least favorite in the franchise, but I still thought it was alright. Where's the Switch that you said sucked when I got the Shiny Drago? This one right here is my original Switch. Never got either Regidrago or Regieleki on it. Got Regieleki and Regidrago on the Switch OLED. that I specifically bought for that hunt. But literally every shiny we got on stream prior to Regieleki and Regidrago was gotten on that Switch. What's up, Flo? Is Legends Arceus worth it? That's a little bit of a loaded question, right? Because, like we were just talking about, enjoyment's completely subjective. What I would recommend doing is go back on the YouTube, look up. You know, I'm just gonna plug him. Actually, I don't know if he keeps his live streams. I'll plug somebody else. Go back, look up ChemNation. Look up ChemNation's videos from this time in 2022. Watch a couple of videos of him just playing through the game and see if it looks like it'd be enjoyable to you, and then do it based off of that. It's definitely a different experience than traditional Pokemon games. The battle system and all that is completely different. Some people really liked it, some people did not. But I would watch some videos, kind of get a feel for if it looks interesting to you or not. Yeah, Amory, I'm sorry. You know you're gonna have to do it though. Or the other option is, Amory, you know, maybe you could sweet talk me into sitting down one day and doing some touch trades with you and letting you have some Pokemon to put into home. Watch FGPLA stream. I was not streaming back at that time, Eric, actually. Although my first stream in this house was a PLA stream looking for Unknown. I didn't start streaming until after I played through ZA. In fact, even before I started streaming, there are some videos of me playing ZA and shiny hunting in ZA. Or not ZA, sorry, Arceus. There's some videos of me shiny hunting in Arceus, but I never really did Arceus streams. Actually, the most Arceus I've ever played on my channel was last year in preparation for ZA, trying to get all the shiny megas and getting the Steelix, the Garchomp, the Glalie, Gyarados. I think there might have been one more. Did I get all the shiny Unknown in PLA? No, I'm still missing 10 Unknown. In fact, if you put in the chat ! Unknown, you'll see which Unknown I'm still missing. What stinks is, you know, out of 28, I'm missing 10, which means that even if I find a shiny Unknown, I'm more likely than not to find a duplicate. And then on top of that, they're not going to be in Premier Balls. So if anything, as miserable as it would be, it might actually be a mod-only command. I'll place it. As miserable as it would be more beneficial to me to go back to BDSP and hunt for the Unknown there. There we go. CFG, JKL, MUY, and question mark. Those are the ones I still need. Because technically the only one I have in a Premier Ball is N. That was the one I got in BDSP. And even though BDSP is full odds, 140.96, it's not, like, it has some advantages, right? F, R, I, E, N, and D, you can isolate hunt. Which is neat. Let's non-mods use it. Chem took puffing from you. It feels limited. Well, Eric, it's not a thing against you. If I could give you personally access to every command, I would. I just try and keep down on the spam by having certain commands mod only so that they aren't used, like, you know, every couple minutes. That they basically are only used when conversations like this come up. Now, that said, I think you can. Funny enough, Eric, I think you can use the puffin command here. Funny how Unknown can't breed. It's so rude, Anne-Marie. It's so rude. If Unknown could breed, this would be a whole different ballgame. I'm still holding out hope. There's a small sliver of me holding out hope that we eventually get a Let's Go Johto game solely so I can shiny hunt the Unknown. Why can't alphabets breed? I mean, why not, right? Why not indeed? Maybe, like, what if they allowed, what if they allowed unknowns to breed, but it could only be certain things, like L could breed with O, or I could breed with B. Stuff like that. Ampersand, yes, I want an ampersand. I want a period. I want a quotation mark. I want a comma. I want to be able to write complete sentences. Heart Gold, Soul Silver on the Switch. That'd be sweet. What's It's been so long since I played those games. What is unknown hunting like in Heart Gold, Soul Silver? First half of the alphabet can only breed with one another, and the second half by themselves. That'd be interesting. Unknown asterisk. The @ unknown. Is that a $sign unknown? Yeah. So we can email our unknowns. Yeah, I want to be able to write I want it to be like a language. I want it to be like a straight up language. I want an apostrophe. You'd love Let's Go Johto. It's your dream game. I think it would be fun. I don't care. I mean, if you want to change it back to like a standard battle mechanic instead of a catching only mechanic, that's fine. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But I like the style of the Let's Go games. This will all be in Gen 10. You heard it here first. Sergeant Bickle. You say Bickle, all I can think of is taxi driver. You want an umlaut unknown. You want a shrugging emoji unknown. You know what? I'm kind of surprised we don't have an emoji Pokemon yet. Sergeant Bickle reminds you of Biff. Everything reminds you of Biff, me too. You never played Heart Gold, Soul Silver, so you can't answer that? Yeah, I mean, I know it's the Ruins of Alph is what it's called, right? The Ruins of Alph is the Johto area that contains the unknown. But I remember back in Gen 2, because of the way the shininess worked and the DVs and everything, only, ironically, I and V could be shiny. I would assume in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, like, any of them can be shiny. And I would also assume that, like in the original Gen 2 games, you still release certain groups of unknown at a time. So you wouldn't be able to necessarily isolate hunt, but you could take, like, if you're looking for something in particular, you could take the pool down from, 1 in 28 to like 1 in 6. Also, Matthew Snyder, are you still here? Because I know you are big into DexNav. I've never been able to get a grasp on how to properly DexNav in caves. And that's another option, would be DexNaving unknown in cave and Oris. One thing that always bugged you about the movie, The Long Walk, why have them walk? They could have run, they could have been called The Short Run. That's a good question. I still haven't seen that movie. I really enjoyed the short story by, or I guess novella, by King. But I do need to get around to watching that movie. They are expensive, Anne-Marie. They are. Thankfully, I picked up Soul Silver like when it came out. But a few years ago, I mean, probably 4 years ago now, I picked up Heart Gold online, and I paid a pretty penny for that at the time, and now I see the prices for it, and it's ridiculous. Pokemon Game Break, yeah, my Pokemon Game Break um, was beginning of the Switch era, and it wasn't like I was taking a Pokemon break per se, but I put off picking up a Switch for quite a while, and therefore, because I put off buying a Switch for a while, I didn't pick up Sword and Shield until um, it was in between Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra. Isle of Armor had been released, Crown Tundra had not been released yet. That's when I first played Gen 8. And I don't honestly remember playing. I didn't technically take a break, but when Black 2 and White 2 came out, I picked up Black 2, but I never finished it. I never. I mean, to this day, I've never completed a Black 2 or White 2 playthrough. But then I was, back on board when Gen 6 came out. Vendor's Doomsday will be like 4 hours. It doesn't surprise me. That I could see that. I mean, Endgame was pretty long. I don't think it was that long, but I could see that. Didn't play Black 2 until last year. Super great. Yeah, I need to do that at some point. I need to play Black 2, White 2. Well, I need to do it in order to get my Shiny Charm. Got Switch when the Smash Bros. Version came out. It's still your main Switch that you're using. That's awesome, Emery. All right, we're definitely over half odds here. No doubt about it. You're waiting for a cool theme Switch too? I can understand that. What would be your perfect theme, Anne-Marie? If it wasn't RDJ, who'd you have cast play Dr. Doom? I mean, honestly, in my opinion, they don't have to look like anything. They just have to have... They need to have a commanding voice. That's the main thing. They need to have... I'm not saying it has to be James Earl Jones. I actually don't think James Earl Jones would be a good fit. But it needs to have that like James Earl Jones for Darth Vader type quality. A voice that just commands respect. I'm trying to think of who is currently big in Hollywood that would fit with. Yeah, it has to be a strong, powerful voice. I don't know. I gotta think about that one. That's a good question. But yeah, I'm not personally a fan of it being RDJ. Pokemon theme Switch 2 or a Kirby one. Mario would also be okay with another Smash Bros. Adam Driver? I mean, possibly. Possibly Adam Driver. Yeah, I could see that. Been doing a Tepic hunt in White recently, doing starter hunt in Black 2, White 2 involves menuing, and that's a yes. Yes, John. Yes, I actually did. I do remember trying that way back. Yeah, if you're going to do, I mean, neither way is going to be fun, but if you're going to do a starter hunt in Gen 5, definitely go Black and White. So I think it's just a slight bit shorter. Still not a short hunt, but like in my opinion, for me personally, I did my Heart Gold Soul Silver dual hunt for the starters. Got myself a shiny Chikorita. I successfully did the starter hunts for Tuchrico, Mudkip, and Torchic, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I've done those starter hunts. I don't need to do any other starter hunts, in my opinion. I love shiny hunting. The other ones, I just don't think, for me personally, are worth it. You have a Dialga Palkia light? Sweet. I just have a regular light, regular Switch, and regular Switch OLED, and of course, regular Switch too. Egg hunting in Shield Cherubi. Good luck, Slowpoke. I hope you get it soon. That was the last egg I needed, right? After you got a Chimchar and Platinum under odds, never doing Briefcase again. Yeah, like that's one thing. I've never done Briefcase Simulator. No desire to do that. The like the dialogue and everything beforehand just too much. Yeah, just give us something cool, right, Anne-Marie? Yoshi theme would be pretty neat. Wario or Mario Kart. Come on, Shiny. Be shiny already. Jerry, I'm blaming you. Never play Animal Crossing, but maybe even go for a themed one of that. Emery, are you going to pick up Pokopia? I'm sure we've talked about this. I just can't remember. I have a terrible memory. You know this by now. You don't think you will? Yeah, I want to watch some people play it. I love the concept. I can't yet justify the $70 in my head. Not your kind of game, you don't think? Yeah, like I've tried games like that. Like I've done Animal Crossing. I've tried a couple of other similar type games whose names I can't even remember, and it's not like a style that I'm very like I get hooked on. But I've also proven to myself in the past that sometimes even though a game style might not be my cup of tea, if it's within a franchise I really enjoy, that will kind of override it. So I could also see myself getting addicted to it. But I just can't see paying that much for what I've seen so far. Really want Cyclops to steal a show in Avengers Doomsday? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You guys are going to get tired of me saying it. That Doomsday teaser with Cyclops did more for him in 3 seconds than all the previous movies did. Jerry, have a great rest of your day. Let me know about the open house. I want to hear all about it. I had to go draw the curtains closed because I felt like you're getting too much natural light in here. Anyone got any big plans for the rest of the day? Favorite Stanley Kubrick movie? Clockwork Orange and Full Metal Jacket? Both good. Both absolutely fantastic movies. I'd probably have to go Full Metal Jacket too. Now I've seen and own Full Metal Jacket, Clockwork Orange, Shining, Lolita, Eyes Wide Shut. I own but have never sat down and watched Barry Lyndon. No, you know what? You know what my favorite is? I mean, Full Metal Jacket's fantastic. In fact, I just watched it again a couple months ago. My favorite would be Dr. Strangelove. I think that is genuinely such a terrifying movie, but also one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And it's one of those movies that, like, the more times I see it, the funnier it gets. It's genuinely hilarious in such a deadpan way. Like, you have to, I don't want to say you have to, like, look for the humor, but you have to be open to the humor. I gotta fish this iceberg house. I need some ranked battles. There you go. That sounds like fun, Lacey. Who do I think is gonna win the Super Bowl? I think. Now, look, I got no dog in this fight, right? In fact, from what I've heard from people I've talked to, I have yet to talk to anybody that's actually excited about this matchup. Okay, so that being said, I'm nonpartisan here, no bias here. My guess is it's probably gonna be the Patriots. I could be wrong, and it wouldn't bother me a bit because I got no dog in the hunt. But my guess is Patriots. But more importantly, who's looking forward to Bad Bunny? Still need Megastones for the Hoenn starters. Problem is, you think legendaries are allowed in the set. You don't want to compete with legendaries. I totally get you, Lacey. Do this, because I think the Swampert. I think the Swampert season starts this week or next week. Wait till that starts up. Go in there, rank up 1 from Z to Y, and you'll get the Septilite and the Blazikenite. CORSOLA before 300, I hope so. Because we still have to get a second one as well. And then after we get our second CORSOLA, we're going to take a little break from the MASUDA. We're going to hunt for a Blip Bug. We're not going to get the Blip Bug until after Anne-Marie gets the 2 that she needs. And then we're going to come back to MASUDA to get the Unova Darumaka. And then we'll be moving on to Scarlet and Violet. And then, possibly, actually, no, genuinely, definitely, within the MASUDAs and Scarlet and Violet, because they're going to drive me crazy, I'm going to want to take breaks. We will be, I think this is the first time I'm officially announcing this on stream. We will be rehunting Darkrai and Arceus so I can get them in Premier Balls. I was forced to get both of them in Master Balls. Wait as long as you can get them together. Yeah, I think that's smart. I have Septilite. I have not gotten the Blazikenite yet. I think I'm just going to wait and get the Blazikenite and the Swampert at the same time. Yeah, so it just so happened I looked out because I dual hunted Shaman and Darkrai on my Switch and Switch Lite. Shaman was no problem. I caught that in a Premier Ball, no issue. And then I dual hunted Darkrai, and in the game that I found the shiny Darkrai, I tried to Premier Ball it, but it kept breaking out, and I was like, I didn't prepare for the hunt, so there's no like Harvest Leppa, anything like that. I was getting nervous. I was running out of PP. I had false swiped it, so it was down to 1 HP, so one struggling to be gone. And I got freaked out, and I ended up using my Master Ball on it. Which wasn't terrible, because if you ever look at the shiny Darkrai, Master Ball matches it really well. And so then I hunted for Arceus, and I have been also dual hunting Arceus, or dual hunting for Arceus, but so I stopped hunting for Arceus in the game where I used the Master Ball, and start hunting it in the game where I didn't use the Master Ball, so I had that as a backup, and again, I had to use that Master Ball, so I need to rehunt both of them. So, in the game where I got Arceus, I never caught Darkrai, so I can still hunt for that one. Nico, a worshiper, what's going on? Good to see you. Got your Darkrai Premier Ball. I'm jealous, John. But I won't be jealous for too long because we're going to re-get it. All right, here we go. 271 through 275. Gotta get it. Doing Ray in the den, but you got Kyogre on accident. How do you feel about Kyogre? So that's what even said for Super Bowl Sunday, start partying at the crack of dawn and pass out before kickoff. Be a man. Yeah, that will not be me. That's for certain. She got shiny Darkrai and an air ball. An air ball. Come on now, Slowpoke. You like the pink whale, so you're happy? It is a good shiny. Beautiful shiny. Congratulations on that. Oh, we haven't played Guess the Plus yet. We should probably do that. This is part of the stream where I have a Pokemon plush sitting on my desk. It's right here. You can't see it, but it's right here where I'm pointing. You have to guess what that Pokemon is. So go. Any recommendations for the next Hunt the Den? Well, get back on that Rayquaza hunt now. Or Rayquaza hunt. Not Rowlet, not Slowpoke, not CORSOLA. Not Azurill. Oh, after Ray? Go for Articuno. Not Gastrodon. It doesn't have wings. It does not have wings. Not Munchlax. It also doesn't have a ring. Well, no, it doesn't have a ring. Starting to know what chem feels like, answering questions. Can you get a hint? Not yet. We need more guesses. You earn hints. You earn hints by making guesses. After Articuno, you go back to Regice, which hopefully will go better than Registeel. Oh, I hope it does. If there's one, whoops, if there's one Regi you want to get quickly, it's definitely Regice. I'm butchering this. There we go. Not Slowpoke, not Kyurem. It's not an Evolution, not Regirock, not Stantler. There goes John again, just naming all the plushes that I own because he has a spreadsheet. Literally, John has not mentioned one I don't have yet. Not Mischievous. Not Chimecho. Not Butterfree. Did I have for legendaries in the Tundra? The majority of them I had from Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I did get Zekrom. And then I hunted for the 4 Tapus, Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma, and Zygarde. Not Victini. Official Sparks channel. I'm not sure if anybody would be able to trade you a shiny Groudon, but there might be, and I say might, there might be someone in the chat that has a Groudon path they could share with you. What's up, Hassan? Good to see you. Not Darkrai. Oh, you're talking about the Swords of the Regis. Oh, I hunted for Regidrago and Regieleki. I never did hunt for the swords because I had them from Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, along with the rest of the Regis. Yes, we are playing Guess the Plush. It's not from the Nido family. It's not Rabombi. It's not Morpeko. Not Hisuian Zorua. Not Togedemaru. Not Stuffle. Not Empoleon. All right. You've earned a hint. Here's your hint. It is a fighting type Pokemon. 6307 for the first and only Regi you've done so far. Oh my gosh. That is unfortunately over odds. If it makes you feel better, my shiny Regidrago took me 16,840 checks. Not Flamigo, not Lucario, not Metatype, not Mankey, not Hitmontop, not Infernape, not Tyrogue, not Hawlucha, not Machop, not Sock, not Hitmonchan, not Machop, not Throw, not damn. Pokemon Sword game card broke. Oh, dang, that stinks. Not Machoke, not Urshifu, not Riolu. Not Blaziken, not Makuhita, not Cupboot, not Metachamp. Not Mean Shao. Ryan Christensen, what's going on? Not Mankey, not Sneasler. I forgot Sneasler's fighting. Hero! Cubfu evolution you forgot the name of. That would be Urshifu, which is incorrect, but Mewtwo. Got it. It is Poliwrath. It is Poliwrath. The first, and for a long time, only water fighting type. Kiro, I got you so good. I almost feel bad. That was such a good pranking. Kyurem White and or Black in this. Found I can't catch multiples. I think, if I remember correctly, hold on a second. I think you can. I can't remember where. I believe you can get... Am I going crazy? Can you get the DNA splicers in this game? What's crazy, Hassan? Yeah. If you own a Kyurem, go to the bargain shop guy still on the side, and he'll give you the DNA splicers. I don't know why I don't have them. Thank you to whoever just subbed. Appreciate you. Ever since Gen 4, Empoleon has been the only Pokemon in existence to be a Water Steel type. Not just Lions, literally the only one. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. We need another Water Steel type. Wild that we haven't had another one yet. All right, I gotta run to the little streamer's room for a minute. Yeah, give us Ghost Rock. I gotta run to the little streamer's room for a minute. I will be back momentarily. I cannot remember, honestly, how long it's been since I've put certain people in charge. Slowpoke, you're in charge. Holy smokes! Kiro! Kiro with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, buddy. Slowpoke getting one. Possessed Lucario, Renzimus, Mudkip, Keeper of Lemons, Alchemist, Accelerate, Ryan Berry, Psycat, and New York. Thank you so much, Kiro. Very kind. You're currently hunting shiny Zekrom. Good luck on that. I got really lucky. It was the night that the Crown Tundra came out, and I was doing some Dynamax adventures, and that night was cracked. It's like they knew it was my first experience with it, and they were trying to get me hooked. Within a few hours, I got like 4 shinies, including a first check Zekrom. And I was like, this is the greatest shiny hunting method ever. And then I ended up absolutely hating Dynamax Adventures. But you know what? We haven't talked about this yet. I will go on record now. Looking back, I do not hate Dynamax Adventures nearly as much as I hate donuts. Donuts are now my least favorite thing ever. Virtual donuts in Pokemon games. Actual real-life donuts I still love. Yeah, Anne-Marie, you and I are like always on the same page. Yeah, so in the newest Pokemon game, Legends ZA, Pokemon Legends ZA, in the DLC, you can take berries and use those berries to create donuts, and those donuts will give you the possibility of like sparkling power, alpha power, kind of similar to sandwiches in Scarlet and Violet. However, the powers you get are, Mega Dimensions. The powers are completely random. How crazy that sounds? It sounds absolutely insane. I mean, let's face it, Anne-Marie, like, it's not unique to Mega Dimensions. If you walked up to a random person on the street and just started telling them how the world works in Pokemon games, you would be committed. Donuts make you go nuts. That's right, Mewtwo. It's too much RNG. Way too much RNG. You know, I would even be fine, like if there had to be some sort of compromise, I'd be fine with having guaranteed recipes for sparkling power. But it's random if it's level 1, 2, or 3, for example. Or guaranteed sparkling power, but it's still random what typing. Vivian was stalking you, saw her peeking over your bed with wide eyes. Uh-oh. But like more than anything else, I don't like the idea that in the DLC, in order to play it, you have to, like, it's monetized. And I don't mean like you have to spend money to download the DLC, like that's going to happen. I mean like within the game, if you want to access the DLC Pokemon, you have to spend berries in order to make a donut, in order to access the location where the DLC Pokemon are, instead of just letting you go to a new area where the DLC Pokemon are. It'd be one thing if you had to make donuts to shiny hunt them, but you have to make donuts to see them. It was just too much. They tried to do too much. And that's how I feel about that. Donut DLC really burnt you out? Yeah. Yeah, the splicers do exist. Yeah, so I looked it up. As long as you have a Kyurem you can go to the bargain shop guy and stow on the side, and he'll give you the DNA splicers. You just have to have a Kieran in your party. Just finished Fallout Season 2. Man, you love that show. Kieran, when are you going to watch a show that I recommend? Least favorite Pokemon is Aromatisse because of the sound it makes. What sound does it make? Does it go... I could see that. I gotta be honest, I usually play my Pokemon games on mute. I'm usually like watching TV while I'm playing. It's embarrassing being in what I would like to consider a somewhat respected Pokemon player on the internet, and my knowledge of Pokemon music is terrible. What's up, the true alpha? Like, I've seen some of those videos on YouTube where people have to guess the Pokemon just by the Pokemon cry, and I'm just like, I don't know how you do that. It's worse than that? Oh man, because that was pretty bad. I guarantee I have friends that left the chat after I made that noise, and they're supposed to care about me. So it's got to be pretty bad if it's worse than that. You got 187 out of 190 on a Pokemon Cry quiz before? That's insane. Like, I'm legitimately impressed by that. That blows my mind. I could never. Sorry, I left chat when you made that noise. What'd you ask me? Nice. Kieran, when are you going to watch a show that I recommend? Christopher, I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing even more fantastic now that you're here. How are you? Real Shuriken Chingling Mafia. What's going on? Who was everyone's favorite Ninja Turtle? Mine was Donatello. And I've always wanted to have a bow staff. Refresh your memory. Television is like moving pictures on a small box that tell a story. What are the blue names with the shield? So, Christopher, this has been going on for about a week now. Slow rollout across YouTube. Today's the first day I'm actually seeing it. But the mod wrenches have been replaced with shields. So for some reason, I decided that Kieran should be a mod. And now you can tell that he's a mod because he has a shield next to his name. Kieran, I want to rewatch The Wire, and I want to rewatch it with you. It's like a book club, but less intelligent. I want to watch a show while you're watching a show, and then we can chat about it in DMs. Yours is also Donnie? Nice. Favorite Ninja Turtle is your turtle? What's your turtle's name, Mewtwo? I believe you've told me before, but I can't remember because I'm terrible. Wire's a great show. It's a fantastic show. Absolutely. Even the 5th season, when it's not nearly as good as the previous seasons, but it's still pretty good. Had the Blacklist in your head for some reason? No, I know Kem was watching the Blacklist for a long time. I don't know if he ever finished that or if he gave up on it. But no, The Wire's like so much better than The Blacklist. Kieran, one of my favorite things about The Wire, and there's like a long list of them, but I'm telling you this is one of my favorite things because it relates to you because you're British, is Dominic Weist. I think it's Dominic Weist. It might be Dominic West. Dominic Weist plays what you could consider like the lead character, and he's British, but he's playing a Baltimore cop. And in the first episode, and in fact, the first scene, he's talking about a guy named Snot Boogie. And even though he does a great American accent, he struggles so badly with saying Snot Boogie. It's amazing. Such a talented British actor to be taken down by a single Snot Boogie. And I figure you would like that because you're British, and therefore that means a lot to you? How do you say it? It's like snot boogie. Snot boogie? Like he really struggles on the boogie. Because I believe if Ron taught me anything in the Harry Potter movies, the British pronounce it bogey. You're doing the Masuda method and Sword when it wasn't broken for Rookidee. Did like 500 eggs and gave up, but you went on Pokemon Scarlet and there's a shiny Rookidee next to you. That's awesome. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with going to a different method to get a shiny Pokemon easierly. You'd struggle saying it's not Boogie from laughing too much. I know you would. You're just a little chuckle monster. You're always giggling. Sammy like a sandwich. Oh god, I could go for a sandwich. I'm so hungry. Sammy's a good name for a turtle, though. An even better name for a Ninja Turtle. What other shows do I like? Oh my gosh. Alright, in no particular order, I'm going to name some of the shows that popped into my head that I really enjoy. A lot of them are going to be kind of like basic answers, but I don't care. You know, sometimes shows are popular for a reason. The Wire, Friends, Lost, Parks and Rec, The Office, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Game of Thrones, Arrested Development, Archer, Community, Cougar Town, Scrubs. The Pit is probably one of my newest favorite shows, although I haven't started the second season yet. Supernatural, Smallville, 6 Feet Under, Futurama, The Simpsons, Family Guy, although I haven't watched that in years. I haven't watched The Simpsons in years either. I don't watch it regularly, but South Park always makes me laugh when I catch an episode. I liked Stranger Things, even though I wasn't, 100% over the moon about the last season. Stranger Things was a good show. Orange is the New Black. Alice in Borderland. I'm sure there's other ones. Oh, Kieran. Kieran got me into Severance. I absolutely love Severance. I started watching 97 Kingdoms. I've seen the first episode. I think I got, 2 episodes to catch up on? I don't know if they're airing a new episode tomorrow. If so, I'll have 3 to catch up on. Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. Big fans of those those shows too. Watched a ton of shows. I've been around for a ton of time. Seinfeld, Cheers, Roseanne I liked, Home Improvement, most things that were on TGIF, Full House, Family Matters, Step by Step, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World, most Marvel animated series. How many eggs do I think it's going to take me? The odds are 1 in 512, so we're still a long way away from that. But I need to get 2, so I'd like to not go over odds on these. I would like to hope we can get the first one in under 350. What's up, Big Cheese? Good to see you. The first few seasons of 24 I really enjoyed. Guilty pleasure, anything with Gordon Ramsay. Kitchen Nightmares, Hell's Kitchen, Hotel Hell. I love all that stuff. Master Chef. I'm not even a cook. I don't even cook food very often. I'm not much of a foodie, but I love watching food shows with Gordon Ramsay. And when I say kitchen nightmares, I mean both like the absolute guilty pleasure American kitchen nightmares, but also the original British kitchen nightmares I enjoyed. British Office I enjoyed. Extras. Yeah, well, lots of good shows. Next Level Chef is a fun show. I don't think I've seen that one. What's the deal with the hot cocoa scene in Loki with the professor guy who plays Kang? I vaguely remember that. I've only seen season 2 of Loki once. I didn't like it as much as the first season. I don't know. I honestly, I gotta be honest, Christopher. I struggled a lot with what they were trying to do with Kang in Loki season 2. Yeah, Ollie G show. That was a fantastic show. Absolutely. Ollie G was great. Some of those interviews were just amazing. Gordon's in it, Next Level Chef. I gotta look up that one. I gotta find out what that. I need to learn more. Jeez, I swear you are obsessed with poo. Talking to a feminist. I mean, they could never make that show today, Scrobo. And I think that's a shame. I think it's a shame that we live in a world where that type of pointed humor that's done to make a point that seems offensive, but it's really pointing out the offensiveness of the world, can't be made anymore. Like, I've seen people, like, on the internet talk about how, like, The Office could never be made today because it's too offensive. And I'm like, that was the point of the show. Like, not that it's offensive, but just, like, the joke was that he was so offensive and he had no idea. I don't know. I don't want to go off on one of my rants again. I get in trouble when I go off on my rants. But yes, I did like the Ollie G show. But yeah, Christopher, I honestly, I tried so hard. I could not figure out what they were trying to do with Kang and the multiverse in Loki season 2, and that's coming from someone that is a huge nerd when it comes to time travel and multiverse stuff. Enjoyed and understood Dark while also pointing out plot holes in that show, believe it or not. And huge, comic fan. I couldn't keep up with what was happening there. Yeah, Ollie G could never exist in this space nowadays. Absolutely. My friend sent me a screen grab from The Onion yesterday that I thought was hilarious. It had a picture of Ryan Murphy, and the headline was, "Ryan Murphy fears all of his worst ideas are behind him." If you know Ryan Murphy, I think that was hilarious. I rarely hate watch things. I kind of hate watch Ryan Murphy stuff. I used to really like his stuff, but it seems like every project Ryan Murphy does is just more over the top than the last. Quintessential multi-dimensional show? I don't know if it's considered multi-dimensional, but I would probably go with Quantum Leap. That's the first thing that pops in my mind. It might not technically be considered a multiverse show. I think the Wind and Waves talk, it's just all people who are talking about. It's just all people are talking about. The fans will complain if it's true that they've been spoiled for all the info. You love, ignore rumors. Yeah, I ignore all the rumors. Because look, it's either gonna go one of two ways. In my opinion, for me, um, it's gonna go one of two ways. Either one, it's gonna be completely false. It's gonna be something completely different, and there's gonna be people whose expectations are not fulfilled and they get angry. Or two, you're absolutely right. It's going to be spot on, and people are going to be upset that they were right. I don't, so I try not to pay attention to any of it personally. What year did you notice people woke up with the intention of being offended? I'm not sure if I could pinpoint a year. I would definitely say, though, that over the last 15 years or so, the concept of satire has become a lot harder for some people to grasp. And don't get me wrong, I am all about equality. I'm all about not offending people. I'm all about being kind to your neighbor and treating others as you would like to be treated. 100%. 100%. But satire is lost on some people, and I think that's sad. COVID ruined most things. Yeah, COVID did ruin a lot of things. You've been looking for a Pokemon Live where someone has a Groudon path for a Dynamax adventure, but no one would. It's, you know what, honestly, official Spark Channel, it's going to be a little harder now just because the game has been out for so long. It's not going to be nearly as easy as it was back when, like, Crown Tundra first came out. My best suggestion would be, I know there are certain Discord servers, or even like Reddit threads or Reddit, what do you call them? Subreddits, that focus on Dynamax adventures. That would be I would recommend that be a good place to start to look for people. Like, for example, like, I'd be fine with sharing a path with you, but I honestly, I don't think I have the Groudon in the game anymore. What about people who go to comedy shows and get all upset? They need to stop going to comedy shows. That's how I feel about it. Like, there is a level of responsibility on the participant to know what they're walking into. Now, is that 100% the case all the time? No. Like, I could take someone, out on a date and be like, hey, we're going to a comedy show, and she's never heard of this comedian, doesn't know anything about him, and for whatever reason, he just starts picking on her. No, that's not her fault at all. So it's not like a hard and fast rule, but there are people that go to comedy clubs, and it's almost like they get offended solely so that they can make social media posts about how they were offended. Have an idea of what you're walking into. Exactly. It would be like, you know what, Scrobo? It would be like if Huey Lewis was auditioning bands for Battle of the Bands at a high school, and someone starts shredding on a guitar, and Huey Lewis stands up with a loudspeaker and says, "You know what? You're just too darn loud." Like, what were you expecting? Come on, Huey. Some Discord saying you can't join. Yeah, that stinks. I would probably check out Reddit then. I would look for some Dynamax adventure related subreddits and see if maybe they can help you out. I mean, like I said, if there is someone here that has a Groudon path and is available to help you out, by all means, that's fine. I'm not one of those people that tries to dissuade people from doing stuff like that in the chat. But if there's no one in the chat that has that available, there's nothing I can do about that. Wow, Sword and Shield will blast from the past. Skull, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you as always. Thank you for the 37 months. Do you think Huey Lewis knew the news? Probably so. I would guess. Like, I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. and I'm sure these videos exist, but somehow I haven't seen them, which kind of shocks me. There was a show, famous sitcom that was out in the 70s. It's called All in the Family. And it was about a family, the Bunkers, and the patriarch was a guy named Archie Bunker, played by Carroll O'Connor. Now, Carroll O'Connor was a misogynist. He was a racist. He said terrible things. But it was hilarious because the whole show was making fun of his mindset. The whole concept of the show, because he had like a hippie daughter and son-in-law, the whole concept of the show was based around trying to break people from those old mindsets. And it was actually a very progressive, very liberal show. But it was a liberal show shown through the eyes of a very outdated conservative man. Now, how I have not seen any videos talking about canceling Archie is beyond me. Maybe I've just lucked out. But a show like that would never be made today. And that's a shame because it was revolutionary. Archie. Much love from NYC. Lets us know stay warm, safe, and always choose love. Skulls, you are always such a positive person. I love it. You stay warm too. Isn't he dead? I believe Carol Connor's dead now. Yeah. Yeah. I think for quite a while. Now that I think about it. Noah got a haircut today, and she's so adorable. Nice. Anyway, I've ranted enough. All I'm saying, if I was to leave you with some words of wisdom today, it's don't let satire die. Because sometimes pointing out the ridiculous is the only way to get people to understand. I hate to say it, but a lot of shows up to a certain era get a gloss over because it's just how it was back then, to quote Randall and Clark's too. There's some of that. Absolutely. I am of the personal belief that we should never erase history. We should accept our history, good or bad. And I don't like it when, and I've seen this on both sides of the aisle. I don't like it when people say that we need to get rid of that because it shows things in a bad light. I think I'm a true believer. If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. I'm fine with having a disclaimer. When this movie was made, when this show was made, when this book was written, there were different viewpoints at the time in society about this, that, or the other thing. It by no means reflects the society today. It does it reflects how society was at the time. Just have that little disclaimer and just leave it as it is. I do not believe in editing or deleting history. What trades do you need, Cedric? I can't promise you anything, but we can see if someone's able to help out. Oh yeah, geez, absolutely. I mean, the whole idea behind Three's Company is that in order to live with the two girls, Jack Tripper pretends to be gay, and that was hilarious. Eevee and a Trico. All right, which game are we talking about, Cedric? You think that Furfrou evolved into Absol? That'd be a wild evolution line, wouldn't it? Sword and Shield. All right, I don't know if anyone in the chat is currently playing Sword and Shield that can help out, but we'll put it out there, Cedric. If anybody can help out Cedric with an Eevee and a Trico, let them know. free power items or vitamins. Oh my gosh, you're asking for like a grocery list of stuff. Oh, absolutely, Cheese. Absolutely, they were. Those ladies had some issues with the menfolk. And, I mean, to be honest, a lot of the menfolk in that show had some issues. Ah, that stinks, Cedric. I'm sorry. Yeah, hopefully someone will be able to help you out, but I can't make any promises that anyone's available right now. Where am I with eggs here? Where are my eggs at? Okay, we're good. Let's hatch these. I think we're going to take this up to 315. 315. We'll hatch these 5, and we'll hatch 5 more. We got 10 eggs left to hatch. And if we don't get a shiny, we'll continue this tomorrow. Actually, even if we get a shiny, we'll continue this tomorrow, because I need a second one. That's not a shiny. But you know what? We did get a couple of shinies today, although they were in TCG Pocket. We got the shiny Phanpy and we got the shiny Ho-Oh, which is pretty awesome. Thanks again, Anne-Marie, if you're still here. Buzzer beater inbound. I hope you're right, John. I hope you are right. Hefty stream coming to an end. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm really hungry. And I got some TVs to watch and some Kingdom Hearts to unlock. Best evolutions, top 5, my opinion. Ooh, top 5. That's interesting. All right, so I'm going to give you regular and shiny. So regular, number 1 top pick for me would be Espeon. Number 2 would be Umbreon. Number 3 would be Glaceon. Number 4 would be Vaporeon. Number 5 would be Sylveon. Shiny, number 1 would be Vaporeon. Number 2 would be Umbreon. Number 3 would be Sylveon. Number 4 would be Glaceon. And number 5 would be Espeon, I guess. Yeah, Christopher, I do a 3-hour live stream. We're closing in. We got about 8 minutes left until it hits 3 hours. Interesting pick. I mean, it kind of threw me for a loop, Amory, because I've always had a favorite of the EVs and shiny EVs. I've never had to do a top 5. I admittedly, I'll be the first to admit, I like Glaceon and shiny Glaceon more than most people. I won't apologize for it, but I know that's kind of a hot take. Not a huge fan of Leafeon. Don't accept. I have to stay. Well, I'll tell you what. How about this, Christopher? I'll make a compromise with you. I'll leave, but you can restart the stream from the beginning. I mean, the first 2 hours will be brand new for you. Top 5 lint depositories. Number 1, belly button. Number 2, the bottom of the bed for some reason I've noticed lately. I guess it's because I've been like, sleeping in, like warm socks. But when I change the bed sheets, I'm finding a lot of lint at the bottom of the bed. Number 3 would be jacket pocket. 4 is lint trap itself in the dryer. And 5 would be behind the couch. Favorite EV evolution is Umbreon. Umbreon's pretty sweet. Was that my 5? I think that was my 5 eggs. Nope, we need 1 more egg. Oh, gosh, I was so close. How are we doing on likes? Where did we end up with the likes today? Gotta go. Have a wonderful evening day. You too, Slowpoke. Thanks for everything. What foods I be eating? I'm just gonna have some ramen for lunch today. It's a little low calorie ramen. No tolerant? No, no tolerance. No. I don't get a lot of stuff under my toenails. No shiny. We got 4 chances left. Bidoof says this one's a shiny. I hope Bidoof's right. Oh. No belly button. That was number 1 on my list. Number 1 was belly button. That one's not shiny. I want belly button, foot of the bed, jacket pockets, dryer, lint trap, and behind the couch. That one's not shiny. We got 2 left, I think. Come on now. Show me that shiny. If we don't get it today, we gotta get it tomorrow. No shiny. All right, 1 left, I believe. 1 more chance for glory. But Bidoof did lie. I'm gonna remember that, Bidoof. Before we just last check and say goodbye, I just want to thank Hero for the 11 months of membership. John Struckert, Jordan month. I just got that 23 months. Oh my gosh. I don't know why it took me so long to get that, John. I don't know why it took me so long to get that. 23 months. It is, in fact, Jordan month. Thank you so much. Kiro for the 10 gifted memberships. And Skull for the 37 months. Thank you all so much. Thank you to all the new subs. We got a lot of new subs. And also thank you to Ark for the incredible raid at the beginning of the stream. Bruh, you know what, John? I think it was in the middle of a whole bunch of different messages I was reading. My brain couldn't focus. I saw 23 months. I read your message. In the back of my head, I was like, I don't know what that means. I kept going. Now that I wasn't stuck reading all the messages and my brain could focus for a second, so obvious. I'm very embarrassed though. Here we go. Biking. It's been going well. Yeah, I'm back on the bike now. That my back has recovered from the snow shoveling. So yep, back on it. All right, here we go. Last check. Let's get some shiny luck in the chat. And after this, we will be back tomorrow. Here we go. I Kobe'd it. Come on now. Come on now. Be shiny. Not shiny. Hot dang. Ding dong doodle butt. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. Everyone, have a great rest of your day. Do something nice for someone today just because it's the right thing to do and for no other reason. And I'll see you on the next one. Kieran, I'm going to bug you about the wire. Take care and bye-bye.